Because a lot of young people watch our show. And, would you like to tell them, like, why would they? Because a lot of people don't have money to spend on this.
Well, thanks to the Affordable Care Act, young people can stay on their parents' insurance until they're 26. But once they hit 26, they're on their own, and a lot of young people think they're invincible. But the truth is, young people are knuckleheads, you know? They're the ones who are cooking for the first time and slice their finger open. They're dancing on the bar stool. They're
young people. Yeah.
Young people.
I would never do both of those things this past summer. No.
Yeah, okay, folks. Young people are knuckleheads, and this is the same woman who told voters, if you know someone who's not going to vote, go out, get in their face, shout at them, scream at them, shake them. Something not right. But I wonder how that knucklehead message plays to the young people. And joining us now is one such representative. He's Evan Feinberg, president of Generation Opportunity. He's written a great piece, picked up in many papers, talking to Barack Obama. Hey, we're young, but we're not stupid. I guess, Evan, you're not a knucklehead either, correct?
That's right. I find comments like that to be insulting and demeaning, and you know, that's what they've got to resort to when they don't have a good product to sell. And Obamacare is a product that my generation just isn't buying because it's not in our best interest.
All right. Well, why is it not in your best interest?
Well, look, Obamacare is going to charge young, healthy people 3 times as much for our health insurance in order to pay for an older, sicker generation's health care. It's why they've got to put all of these marketing efforts together. It's why they've got to get everyone from LeBron James to Amy Poehler out there to try to sell this bad deal, because they've got to turn young people into suckers who pay more for their health care so that other older, sicker folks can get their health care paid for. It's not a fair way to run a health care system. It's certainly not a smart way, given that 16% of millennials are unemployed and about a third of us are forced to move back in with our parents during our millennial years.
You know, when the Obamas talk about, you know, for the price of a cell phone bill or the price of whatever, you know, you could get health insurance, they failed to mention one word, and I've never seen or heard this word cross either of their lips, and that's deductible. I mean, a young person might go for the insurance, sign up for the insurance, go to the doctor for an ailment, and then get a bill for the full amount. And then they're going to get, you know, you talk about knuckleheads, they're going to find out that they're responsible for the first, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 of doctor bills.
Yeah, try more like $5,000 or $6,000. The average bronze plan, which is the sort of lowest level, cheapest premium that they're really promoting when they say the premiums might be less than a cell phone bill, which is also false. But those bronze plans have an average deductible of $5,000, and the out-of-pocket caps on those plans are still about $6,500. So not only are we going to pay 3 times as much for the premiums under Obamacare, but we're still going to be on the hook for all of that first dollar coverage of our doctor's visits and the like. It's the story to young people was Obamacare was going to help us, and so we were the most supportive generation of any of Obamacare. But now that it's hit, now that we've seen the consequences of this law, young Americans now oppose it. With about 60% of the demographic opposing Obamacare, we're the least supportive of any age group of this law.
That is just amazing when you talk about the support that this president has had from that age group right along up until now, according to the polls. What do you think of, you know, aside from Michelle Obama's unofficial youngsters are knuckleheads, but you know, this Barack Obese video and enlisting people like Magic Johnson and others to target young people. What do you think of that effort?
Well, some of the marketing efforts have just been pathetic, and you mentioned Magic Johnson. You know, I'm maybe just old enough at 29 years of age to remember seeing Magic Johnson play basketball, but there's not a lot of people in our age group who Magic Johnson really speaks to. So a lot of those marketing efforts have been really pathetic. But sure, you know, other spokesmen like LeBron James or an Amy Poehler might reach out to the younger demographic well. And the shame of it is that the reason why they've got to spend so much money and so much time reaching out to millennials is because they've got to sucker us into a bad deal. And you can have the best marketing efforts in the world. If you're selling a product that doesn't make our lives better, we're not going to buy it. And that's why we're choosing to opt out of Obamacare.
When you talk about or give a message to Barack Obama, we're young, but we're not stupid. How stupid do you think they think you are? Because, I mean, see, the whole premise is of Barack Obama and his media enablers and the leftist elitists, they bank on the fact that the public is stupid. They bank on the fact that if you're watching on television and they try to convince you that the sky is green and the grass is blue, that if you don't see it, that, boy, there's something really wrong with you. So, you know, do you think that he's targeting youngsters as being stupid, or do you think they kind of target the whole population as being, as being stupid?
Well, I think for Obamacare to work, they have to rely on this notion that young Americans are going to be stupid and that they're going to take a bad deal. And I have a lot more faith in my peers in that. And you know, the evidence is really showing that my faith is well placed. Only 27% of the enrollees in Obamacare so far have been young Americans. And by any count, they need at least 40% of the enrollees to be between the years of 18 and 34 years old to prevent the whole system from sort of going into a death spiral where the premiums spike on everybody else. So they, from the beginning, set up this law in such a way that they needed to dupe young Americans into being stupid and signing up for a bad deal. And, you know, the experience has been our generation is way smarter than that. You can throw every pathetic marketing idea at us you can. You can show someone twerking or have cats singing. It doesn't matter. None of those things are going to convince young Americans to pay 3 times as much for worse health care.
What do you think is going to happen in November? You know, when you the people that you run into traveling in your circles, of your age, are they motivated to vote? Are they upset about this enough to go to the polls in a midterm election? Are they angry enough at Democrats to follow the flow of the rest of the country and the rest of the electorate, as is being predicted, to the landslide that's predicted in the House and in the Senate, or are they just basically, you know, turned off by the whole thing?
I find the young Americans that we talk to on a daily basis are really fired up about how the government's growth and the policies that have been passed in recent years, both Republicans and Democrats alike, big government policies that really don't make our lives any better, have really motivated young Americans to become a voting bloc where they can push back on these policies. Really, there's been a war on youth going on in this country for a number of years, where politicians keep spending more and more money that's being borrowed, not from some future generation. When people say our kids and grandkids, it's being stolen from us, and we have less economic opportunity because politicians keep passing new laws in Washington that steal opportunity from the next generation, usually so that they can win their next election. And Obamacare is just the latest and potentially the biggest example of this, where they really threw young Americans under the bus to keep AARP happy and to keep big special interests, you know, the hospitals and the drug companies and the insurance companies happy. And so young Americans have been bearing the brunt of these policies for too long, and they are fired up about it, and I think there will be consequences for politicians who have waged this war on youth.
Talk about, Evan, your organization, of which you are the president, Generation Opportunity.
Yeah, so Generation Opportunity, we seek to empower young Americans to take control of their future, to free the future of this country, to be the solutions of this country's problem. And that means we need to have less government and more freedom. And so at Generation Opportunity, we're trying to give voice to young Americans and help them to be active in the political process in ways that will make a difference. All
right. Well, listen, continued good luck to you, good success, and we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Evan Feinberg, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting, and a great piece that he wrote that I saw at the Las Vegas Review, but has been in several papers around the country, to Obama, we're young but we're not stupid. And it is pathetic. It is embarrassing, the Barack Obese rap video. And, you know, but when you sit there on national TV and you say young people are knuckleheads, it just shows who they are, what they think of people, and that's what they think of all people. You know, we're all a bunch of knuckleheads. Do as I say, not as I do. You're all a bunch of knuckleheads. All those people, the 85% who were happy with their health care before Obamacare, you had substandard policies, you idiots. Didn't you know they were substandard? Thank God for Barack Obama to point that out to all of us. We had no right being happy or satisfied with what coverage we had. It wasn't real. It was substandard. Who said so? Dr. Obama. The guy who says, take your daughter if she can't breathe and get her a breathalyzer. Yeah, that Dr. Obama. Give Me 5 is next. Obama's picks. Don't miss it.
The Steve Malzberg Show.